It all began on a chilly evening in Dublin, Ireland. The theatre lights were glowing softly, the audience murmuring with excitement. The judges of Ireland's Got Talent 2025 had already seen a long line of performers, singers, dancers, comedians, and musicians, each trying to make their mark on the grand stage. But no one could have predicted that the next contestant to step onto that stage would change the entire mood of the night. The stage doors slowly opened, and out walked a tiny figure wearing a simple white polo shirt, black vest, and black trousers. His small hands were trembling slightly, not out of fear, but out of pure excitement. He was only 9 years old, a little boy from Manila, Philippines, named Miguel Santos. His hair was neatly combed, his smile shy but full of dreams. As he stepped into the spotlight, the entire room seemed to quiet down. Even the judges leaned forward, curious to see what this little boy was about to do. The host announced his name, and a soft wave of applause filled the air. Miguel adjusted his vest nervously and took a deep breath. One of the judges, Simon Cowell, smiled gently and asked him where he came from. With his tiny voice shaking, Miguel said, "I came from Manila, Philippines." Another judge asked, "And what will you be doing tonight, Miguel?" The boy replied, "I will show you magic. But it's not just magic. It's something from my heart." The crowd reacted with soft gasps and whispers. A 9-year-old magician. That was rare. As the music began to play softly in the background, Miguel slowly opened his little black suitcase, revealing a deck of cards, a red silk cloth, a rose, and a small notebook. He started his act with a simple card trick. He invited one of the judges to pick a card. Simon picked the Queen of Hearts. Miguel shuffled the cards with a surprising amount of skill, moving his small fingers with the precision of a seasoned magician. The audience was impressed already. Within seconds, the card reappeared in Simon's jacket pocket without him ever noticing. Gasps filled the theater. Even Simon looked stunned. But what happened next took the performance from impressive to unforgettable. Miguel held the red silk cloth over the rose. He whispered a few words in Filipino under his breath, words that his late mother had taught him. When he lifted the cloth, the rose had turned into a glowing butterfly, fluttering softly above his hands. The audience jumped to their feet, clapping and cheering. But Miguel wasn't finished. He then opened his small notebook and said, "This is the magic my mama taught me before she went to heaven." His voice cracked. The entire room grew silent. "She told me that real magic is not about tricks. It's about love. It's about making people feel something." He placed the notebook on the table, and suddenly, the blank pages began to fill with glowing handwritten messages, as if invisible hands were writing them. The words said, "Believe in love. Believe in dreams. Believe in magic." People in the audience began to wipe away tears. One of the judges, Amanda, covered her mouth in disbelief. The music grew softer, almost like a lullaby. Miguel reached for the butterfly, now glowing brighter, and gently set it free into the air. It floated upward, past the stage lights, as if it truly had wings of light. The moment was pure magic. And then came the most powerful part of the performance. Miguel looked straight into the audience and said, "I came here not just to show tricks. I came here to tell the world that even a boy like me, who has nothing, can bring light. Because magic is real, when it comes from the heart." A wave of applause roared through the theater. People stood up. Tears streamed down faces. The judges looked at each other, speechless. Simon Cowell, known for his tough exterior, had glistening eyes. He pressed the golden buzzer without hesitation. Golden confetti burst from the ceiling, falling gently over Miguel as he dropped to his knees, overwhelmed with emotion. He placed his hands over his mouth, crying tears of joy. This was the moment he had been dreaming of since he was 5 years old, ever since his mother used to perform little magic tricks for him on the streets of Manila. The crowd was chanting his name. Miguel, Miguel, Miguel. It was a sound he had never heard before. A sound that wrapped around him like a warm hug. As he walked off the stage, the judges gave him a standing ovation. Simon stood up, walked over to the little boy, and gave him a heartfelt hug. "That," Simon said, "was one of the most beautiful performances I've ever seen in my life. Not because of the tricks, but because of your heart. You made all of us feel something we'll never forget." Another judge said, "Miguel, you're only 9 years old, but tonight you showed the world what real magic looks like. This wasn't just a performance. This was a message. You made us believe again. Backstage, the host asked Miguel how he felt. With tears still rolling down his cheeks, he said, "I feel like my mama was here with me. She told me to make the world smile, and I think I did it." His story quickly spread across social media. Millions of people around the world watched the video of that golden buzzer moment. Hashtags like #PinoyPride, #GoldenBuzzer, #RealMagic, and #MiguelTheMagician trended globally. People wrote comments saying that this was the most emotional performance they had ever seen. Some said it made them cry. Others said it inspired them to believe in their dreams again. Miguel's journey wasn't an easy one. He grew up in a small neighborhood in Manila where life was hard. His mother, Maria, used to do magic tricks at children's parties to earn a little money. She was his first teacher, his best friend, and his biggest inspiration. She passed away when Miguel was 7. Since then, he practiced magic every day, using her old props. He promised himself that one day, he would stand on a big stage and make the world smile, just like she did. When he received the letter inviting him to audition for Ireland's Got Talent, he couldn't believe it. He had never been on a plane before. He didn't even own a suitcase. A kind neighbor helped him raise money for the ticket, and a Filipino community group in Ireland supported his stay. Miguel arrived in Dublin with nothing but his little suitcase, his props, and a dream. And that dream came true. After his performance aired on television, donations started pouring in from around the world to support his education and magic career. Famous magicians reached out to mentor him. One of the judges invited him to perform at a charity gala. Within days, Miguel became a global sensation, not just for his tricks, but for his story, a story of love, hope, and resilience. Miguel returned to the stage during the semifinals with a bigger, more emotional performance. He told the audience, "Magic is not about fooling the eye. It's about touching the heart." He made a giant heart appear in the air with lights swirling around him, then revealed his late mother's photo inside it. It was a breathtaking moment. The crowd once again erupted in tears and applause. The night of the grand finals came. The theater was packed, the air electric with anticipation. Miguel stepped onto the stage, this time more confident, his eyes glowing with quiet strength. He held the red silk cloth again, just like he did in his first audition. This time, he whispered, "Mama, this is for you." The performance was a perfect blend of illusion and emotion. He made roses float, pages write themselves, and memories come alive. But the real magic was how he made everyone feel, united, inspired, and full of hope. When the final results were announced, the entire crowd held its breath. The host's voice trembled slightly as he said, "And the winner of Ireland's Got Talent 2025 is Miguel Santos." The theater exploded in cheers. Confetti filled the air. Miguel broke down in tears again, this time on the winner's podium, clutching the trophy close to his heart. He raised his tiny hand to the sky and whispered, "For you, Mama." Simon Cowell walked up to him again and said, "Miguel, you didn't just win a competition tonight. You won the hearts of millions around the world. You reminded us that magic is real." His life changed forever. Miguel used part of his prize money to build a small magic school in Manila, so other children could learn and dream too. He said, "I want to teach them what Mama taught me. That even if you're small, even if you're poor, even if the world tells you it's impossible, you can create magic. You just have to believe." Miguel's performances continued to inspire audiences around the globe. He was invited to appear on international talk shows. He was featured in magazines and documentaries. But through it all, he remained humble, always carrying his mother's old red silk cloth with him, the one that started it all. His story became a symbol of hope for many. A little boy from Manila who had nothing but a dream became a global icon of light, love, and magic. And that's why this moment will be remembered forever. Because real magic doesn't come from cards or tricks. Real magic comes from the heart. From believing in yourself when no one else does. From spreading love, kindness, and hope to the world. Thank you for watching this powerful story on Story Sporut. If this moment touched your heart, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to our channel for more stories like this. Your support helps us bring more inspiring moments to people everywhere. And to Miguel Santos, the 9-year-old magician from Manila who brought an entire nation to tears, thank you for reminding us that dreams really do come true. This is Story Sporut, where real stories create real magic. Until next time, keep believing, keep dreaming, and never stop spreading the magic that lives inside you.